Hello students, I've already completed the topic biological classification. Today I'm going to teach a plant kingdom. What are we supposed to study in this lesson? We are going to study characteristics, classification and examples of algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Yes. Before looking at the characteristics, classification or examples, I would like to ask you one thing. What are the common characteristics of plants? How do you identify plants? Let's once check R.H. Whitaker's criteria. Cell structure. Do plants have true nucleus, nuclear envelope? Yes, they are eukaryotes. There is nuclear envelope. Is there any cell wall? Definitely there is cell wall. Cellulose is the component of all the following cells. There can be some other additional material, but cellulose is present. That is clear. What type of body organization is seen in following plants? Body organization could be simplest type, without a stem, without root. I will tell you about that type of callus in algae, or differentiated shoot system and root system. That's how we identify plants. Okay. Generally all are multicellular except few algae. I will take examples of unicellular algae. Next thing is mode of nutrition. All plants are heterotrophs, do you believe? All plants are parasites, do you believe? All plants are autotrophs, is it correct? All plants are autotrophs except this Cuscuta. Because this is a parasitic form. This plant has no chloroplast, no chlorophyll, no photosynthesis. It means in all other green plants, chloroplasts are present. You have studied structure of chloroplast. We are going to study function of chloroplast or mechanism of photosynthesis in another lesson. Okay. Plants are photoautotrophs. They need sunlight. They are not chemoautotrophs. I have also given the differences between photoautotroph and chemoautotroph while highlighting this point with respect to Monera. Just check it. These are not chemo, they are photoautotrophs. Next one is mode of reproduction, right? Criteria, according to R.H. Whitaker's criteria. Mode of reproduction. There is sexual reproduction, fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. We'll tell you about different type of gametes in algae. After fusion, the zygote undergoes several changes. Post-fertilization changes would be complicated because there are many intermediate stages, complicated stages after fertilization, especially in red algae and rare forms. Whereas in simpler algae, green algae, zygote will not become embryo. Zygote undergoes meiosis to form haploid individuals. No complex stage, post-fertilization stage. Yes. The plants exhibit asexual reproduction also. I am talking about reproduction, asexual reproduction also. What type of asexual reproduction takes place in plants? I take stem cutting of angiosperm. I can make new plant. Propagation, vegetative propagation. I shall cut the thallus of algae into 4 parts. Each part will become new algae, new thallus. This is vegetative propagation. So there is asexual reproduction, fragmentation or zoospore formation. flagellated spores are found in green algae and brown algae, not red algae. Asexual spores produced by one parent, thallus. No stem and root here. I am talking about green algae and brown algae. That undergoes mitosis. So such flagellated zoospores become new organisms. It's a sexual reproduction. What have you understood here? There can be a 5-mark question in the theory exam. Mention 5 characteristics of kingdom Plantae. Cell structure. What are we going to highlight in this cell structure? Nucleus, saying that they are eukaryotes, and then cell wall. Then second point, I have written body organization. All are multicellular except few algae. Then mode of nutrition. Okay, there are photoautotrophs. Then mode of reproduction, asexual, sexual. Phylogenetic relationship. We will talk about that later. This plant kingdom is further classified into following classes, following subdivisions. Before looking at the subdivisions, I have to tell you one more thing. Classification system of plant kingdom. If you go back to the history, Aristotle classified plant. Do you remember? I did mention it in the introduction part of biological classification. He classified plants into trees, shrubs, herbs, based on habit, based on appearance, based on morphology, based on few characters, few visible characters. So in the beginning, this kind of system of classification was also supported by Linnaeus. This is called artificial system. Of classification. According to this artificial system of classification, kingdom Plantae includes, we don't follow this system now. I said according to this classification, artificial classification given by Linnaeus, kingdom Plantae includes fungi. Yes, because he identified only 2 kingdoms, plant kingdom, animal kingdom. Organism with cell wall, organism without cell wall, over. He did not consider unicellular structure or multicellular structure, prokaryote, eukaryote, photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic. I mentioned that. What did he observe? Organism with cell wall in plant kingdom, without cell wall, animal kingdom. Fungi have cell wall. Protista have cell wall. Diatoms, dinoflagellates, right? Then Monera also. Initially it was included in plant kingdom. Then animal kingdom. Even protozoans were included initially, and other animals. Without organism, without what? Cell wall. With cell wall, without cell wall. Yes. That was 2 kingdom system of classification. Later R.H. Whittaker separated the following groups of organisms from kingdom Plantae. Even cyanobacteria, nostoc, blue-green algae, they were separated from kingdom Plantae because they are prokaryotes. In theory exam, they may ask 2 mark question about artificial system. Limitations. We don't follow this system, 2 kingdom system, because this system has several limitations. Linnaeus classified the kingdom Plantae further into different groups based on morphology, based on vegetative structure. What do you mean by vegetative structure? Type of shoot system, type of root system. I can tell you about any structure of plant except reproductive structure, flower. That means I am talking about vegetative structure. He observed vegetative structure. He did not consider reproductive structure. Actually, he did not give more weightage for reproductive structure. He did mention androecium structure. Vegetative, that's given in my textbook. Vegetative structure and androecium or androecium. Male reproductive part. Appearance only. Okay, habit, type of leaf, number of leaf, color of leaf, and similarly the root system. What are the limitations of that? Closely related species of plants were separated. Actually, they should have kept in one division, algae, but they are separated because he observed only few characters, not all characters, only few characters were considered. That is, few vegetative plus androecium reproductive, equal weightage. That was the serious limitation. And secondly, the vegetative characters, vegetative structures, such as type of leaf, shape of leaf, color of leaf, length of shoot, and other characteristics are variable. With respect to habitat, a plant will have one type of leaf in aquatic condition. If the same plant grows in terrestrial condition on soil, it will have different color, different type. So just by observing leaf, you can't say it belongs to this family, this order, this genus. This is not valid, because as the vegetative characters, as the environmental conditions change, vegetative characters also change. Secondly, temperature, light, and other environmental factors do influence the growth of shoot system. Therefore, we cannot follow this type of a classification. What have you understood here? What is artificial system? Linnaeus introduced artificial system. Linnaeus classified organisms into 2 kingdoms. That's okay. He classified again plant into subdivisions, simply based on observable features, morphological characters, vegetative characters, androecium structure, then limitations. You have to say closely related species were separated. Okay, unrelated species were kept in same group because they are aquatic forms, because they are terrestrial forms, because they grow in the same place, same habitat. So that was not scientific approach. Just by observing habitat, color, shape, number, we can't say that all the following plants belong to this group. You need scientific approach. You have to study floral characteristics. I'll tell you about that later. So this type of vegetative characters may change depending on the habitat, depending on the environmental factors. But a reproductive structure, cannot change according to the environmental changes or habitat. So that reproductive character is conserved actually from generation to generation. So looking at reproductive character, floral character is more scientific. You can say that this plant belongs to this family. You'll understand that part slowly. So you can answer any 2-mark question. After this, Bentham and Hooker introduced another system of classification. This is called natural system of classification of plants. This classification, natural system of classification, is based on natural affinities, morphology, and natural affinities. What are the common characteristics of two plants of two different areas? Natural affinity plus morphology, other external features, plus internal structures. What are internal structures? Ultrastructures. They could use microscope to study ultrastructure of plant tissue. In addition to that, anatomy, complete anatomy. Anatomy of stem, anatomy of root, anatomy of leaf. You have to study internal structures. That's a different lesson. Plus embryology. How does the zygote develop into embryo? That is study of embryo, embryology. Plus phytochemistry. This is more interesting nowadays in plant taxonomy. What type of alkaloid is present in which family, which group? It's a characteristic feature of family, group. Phytochemistry. Plants prepare several secondary metabolites, toxic materials, alkaloids. We will also study that in biomolecular topic. Okay, observing such chemicals, observing development of embryo from zygote, observing internal structure by observing ultrastructures. Yes. Who introduced this natural system of classification? Bentham and Hooker. This can also be a 2-mark question. Now, we don't follow these two methods. We follow phylogenetic system. Actually, Bentham and Hooker became very famous, very popular for their contribution towards classification of seed plants. They have published in 18th century a book called Genera Plantarum. They initiated actual taxonomy, classification of plants, especially seed plants. So even now we follow this criteria given by Bentham and Hooker, especially while classifying flowering plants. Phylogenetic. Can you follow the meaning of phylogeny? I did mention before in R.H. Whittaker system. Yes, evolutionary characteristics. What do you mean by evolutionary character? Species A and species B are kept in same family. Why? Because A and B have many common features, common characteristics. Let it be anything. Secondly, these two originated from common ancestors. Sometimes we take fossil here, extinct, but we have got evidence of extinct plant in the form of fossils. So we study fossil and come to conclusion that the two plants evolved from the ancestor X. Imagine there is no fossil. Then you can compare the characteristics of these two in terms of internal structure or external structures. or in terms of cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy, taxonomy classification, or in terms of numerical taxonomy, observable features. Nowadays computer system is used, software systems are used to store this type of data. Numerical taxonomy. Yes, what is numerical? Based on observable data. Okay, features of plants. These two plants. Chemotaxonomy. Which protein is present here? Which protein is present here? Which gene is present here? Which gene is present in B? Which enzyme is present in A? They've got many common genes, common proteins, common characteristics, common molecules, common biomolecules, structural molecules, functional molecules, chemicals. Yes, cyto, cell structure, or chromosome number, or type of chromosomes, or behavior of chromosomes. So when you focus all those internal structures, then it appears to be more valid. You prove that A and B come under same family. Apart from floral structure, according to phylogenetic system, people consider also evolution relationship. Relationship between A and B in terms of chromosome structure, chromosome number, chromosome behavior, or molecules of cells such as carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids of the cells, or numerical, observable. That includes floral structure and other things. So now we follow this kind of phylogenetic system of classification. Is that clear? So what are the three things in classification of angiosperms? Classification of plants: artificial system, natural system, and phylogenetic system. Having understood the characteristic feature of kingdom Plantae, brief account of classification, now we will focus on the following divisions of the plant kingdom. Starting from this algae. I hope you are familiar with the term algae. I am asking you to collect algae. You can search algae in a pond. You can search algae in moist places. You can find algae in ocean, sea. You can find algae on the skin of some animals, bears, sloth bears. You can find algae in the form of lichens, mutualism, algae and fungi together form lichens. I said they don't belong to 5 kingdom system of classification. 5 kingdoms in classification criteria. Algae are found in water, terrestrial conditions, or associated, found in relation with some other species. That's how you recognize algae in different habitats, cosmopolitan in distribution. Now, what are the characteristics of algae? How do you identify that this is algae? This is not bryophyte, this is not pteridophyte, this is not gymnosperm, this is not angiosperm, it's algae. How do you prove it? Thallus, thalloid body. That means no shoot and root. It's undifferentiated thallus. Yes. Secondly, they have characteristic type of zoospores. I said in the beginning. especially in green algae and brown algae. Apart from cell structure, body organization, mode of nutrition, mode of reproduction, and phylogenetic relationship, you can highlight few more things to prove that algae differ from other divisions of kingdom Plantae. Zoospores, asexual, motile, microscopic. Imagine this is one algae. It can undergo mitosis to form zoospores of this type. They become new organism, new algae. Then types of gametes. This is very important for NEET. Every year one question is different from this. Okay, types of gametes. I'm talking about sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction involves formation of gametes, male and female gamete. Male gamete is like this. Female gamete also resembles male gamete. Okay, female gamete, male gamete. Produced by different organisms, different algae. Male gamete resembles female gamete in appearance. It means they are isogametes. Example, Spirogyra, don't forget this. Spirogyra is a filamentous algae. Chlamydomonas is single-celled algae. Ulothrix is filamentous algae. Volvox is colonial algae. Algae of marine habitat are normally kelps. You have heard of that. They spread from few feet to several meters. That's huge, massive thallus. Okay. Another example of isogametes, Ulothrix filamentous, where both male and female gametes are motile. But it is difficult to identify which is female, which is male. Therefore, iso. On the other hand, anisogametes. If you have understood this iso, then you can tell me about aniso. Male gamete is like this, motile. Female gamete is non-motile. Egg is non-motile, sperm is motile. We find this kind of gamete in animals. In algae, this is given in only new edition, Eudorina. Green algae is also green algae. This algae is an example of anisogametes. Then third type of gamete, oogames. Male gamete is big, female gamete is big, male gamete is small, motile. Fucus, that is brown algae. Volvox, green algae. Colonial form, and this is well differentiated structure with the hold-fast type frond. I will tell you, thallus doesn't have stem root, but it's like this. Fucus, brown algae. Hold-fast, stipe, frond. This one has oogamous conditions. So what are three types of gametes? Isogametes, anisogametes, oogamous. Examples are very, very important. Iso, Spirogyra, Ulothrix. In Spirogyra, both male and female gametes are non-motile. Here, both male and female gametes are motile. Motile, they can move because they have got flagella. Whereas here, aniso, Eudorina. One is motile and the other is non-motile. Whereas oogamous, big, small. In the fucus side, Volvox. How you identify types of gametes in algae? Algae are of commercial importance. People eat algae. I've heard of that. Algae can become food. Example, chlorella. You just type chlorella in Google, you will get the details. Green algae, which is very popular for proteins, highly nutritious proteins. Space travelers keep this. They consume chlorella. Spirulina, that is another one. That's given in old edition. But spirulina protein is also nutritious, but that doesn't come under algae. Spirulina is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are now separated from this plant kingdom algae because they are prokaryotes. They belong to kingdom Monera. So spirulina, chlorella are all very popular for special type of proteins. I mention only chlorella here because I am talking about algae, plant kingdom, not spirulina. Another example, Porphyra. This is a red algae. Ectocarpus, brown algae, Sargassum, brown algae, are all used as a food, fodder, food. Yes, many things are extracted from this type of algae for human benefit, and they are also used as a fodder for animal food. And another important thing is cell wall material, commercial importance of cell wall materials. Algin in brown algae. I'll tell you the characteristics of green algae, brown algae, red algae separately. I'm going to mention all those things. Algin. Is there anyone who did not eat ice cream? Yes. What type of materials are used for the preparation of ice cream? One of the important components of ice cream is gelling material, gelatinous material. That thing is taken from algae only. Cell wall of algae, not cytoplasm. Cell wall has hydrocolloids. Cell wall has remarkable ability to hold water, especially in marine algae, brown algae. This is in brown algae. In red algae, it is polysulfate ester, carrageenan. Then another popular cell wall material is agar. This is used in microbiology laboratory for culturing microbes. I take agar powder and mix it with water. That will remain wet for so many days. I understand agar is hydrocolloid. Agar is strongest imbibant. It has highest affinity to hold water. It has more affinity for water. Hydrophilic. Hydrocolloid, we say hydrocolloid. That's the initiative word, hydrocolloid. So this type of materials, algal cell wall materials, are of commercial importance. Preparation of food, preparation of ice cream, gelling agent, microbiology laboratories use this type of agar powder for culturing microorganisms. Okay. I will tell you about characteristics of green algae, characteristics of brown algae, characteristics and classification of red algae tomorrow.